So are you a small YouTuber and you're wondering, are you ever going to get your channel monetized? And if so, how are you going to do it? Well, in this video, I'll show you the story of how my small YouTube channel got monetized. Sound like it might be useful to you? Let's go take a look. Well, here's a video that I never thought I'd really make, actually. While everyone who creates content on YouTube probably dreams of the day that they're going to make money off their videos, if you're like me, you probably went at it for a while making videos semi-consistently, then you got either slightly burnt out, too busy, or just forgot about it, or maybe a combination of those. And it probably felt like making money off your YouTube channel seemed like a bit of a pipe dream, really. But here I am anyway, talking at you with now a fully monetized YouTube channel. And the purpose of this video is not necessarily to brag about how much money I'm making off of my YouTube channel. I will show you that, but spoiler alert, it's not massive. But I thought I'd make this video because if you're also a small YouTuber, then you might pick up some ideas or some tricks from learning about what I did. And ultimately, who knows, it might motivate you or give you a little bit of inspiration. Because honestly, if I can monetize a YouTube channel, you definitely can. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's have a look at some analytics in my channel. Let's go through a bit of a story of my channel and how I got here today and how much money I've made off of this channel so far, which for some of you is what you're looking for. Okay, so here we are in my channel dashboard, and as you can see, I've recently just hit 3,000 subscribers, which is nice. So thanks to all those people who subscribed recently, I really appreciate it. But a bit about this channel and how it got started. I started this channel a bit over 3 years ago, back in 2021, but I'm guessing a lot of other people started up a YouTube channel as well as learning to code and all that other good stuff that you did during that period. To be more specific, I started this channel way back in July 2021. Here we go. I started off over a period of about 3-4 months, posting in those first few months 8 videos, then 6 videos, then a little bit of a gap, and then 3 more videos, and then things just sort of petered out, really. But what is interesting is that you can see the videos I had made, look, they were just always just ticking over, like getting at least 100 views a day, which to me is great. And then something happened this year, February to be exact. I stumbled upon an absurd video on my Facebook feed, and it was by a channel called The Sunday Roast, and it's one of those horrible AI generated channels that just makes content about anything. The quote unquote content that they pump out and the assertions they make are just ridiculous. And I found one that was all about how Americans wouldn't be able to adapt to life in New Zealand and find living in New Zealand impossible. And I made this video about it. Americans don't come to New Zealand. What's the full title? Like, we're all fat, lazy drunks. Something like that. It's not far off the truth in some parts of New Zealand, to be honest. And it was around about this time as well, I discovered that YouTube Shorts were a thing. They existed. Hadn't really thought about them at all at this point. So I made a YouTube Short about remixing one of my old videos from back in 2021. So yeah, earlier in 2024, my interest in making YouTube videos again was rekindled. For a very, very brief moment at least anyway. And months went by and I couldn't really think of anything else I wanted to make or comment on really to make videos about, and didn't. But then this happened. I think it'd be helpful if we zoom into this year to get a closer look at exactly what's gone down with my channel this year. In July of this year, things changed rapidly. Here we go. July 4th, good old 4th of July. Things started really taking off. Look at this, 897 views. Over 1,000 views, 1,162 views, and it keeps going up. Just under 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, and it peaks at 11,865 2 weeks into July. And of course, with more views meant more subscribers. And it was around about this time that I started paying more attention to the analytics on my YouTube channel and thinking, I'm actually not very far off from being monetizable now. I'd gone over the requisite watch time, which was over 4,000 hours of watch time over a year. And also my subscriber count was getting close to over 1,000, which is the other requisite you need to get monetized. And by the middle of July, it all started moving so quickly. And I thought to myself, I better actually start looking about how to get set up for receiving Google AdSense and money from Google AdSense. Now, the process of getting monetized isn't difficult, but it was slightly nerve-wracking because you hear all these stories about YouTube refusing monetization on some people's channels for one reason or another. And you start to think, geez, what if all this work I've put into this channel is for nothing and they just refuse? And they just refuse to monetize me. Fortunately, no, that didn't happen. The monetization process only took like a couple of days. I actually think I got monetized on, I think it was July 18th exactly. And you could see it sort of peaked by that point and views were starting to gradually go down. They peaked and valleyed a little bit here in late July, but ultimately we're on a trend downwards right down into September. But ultimately, of course, that led me to realize that, hey, my YouTube channel's a thing now. People are watching it and I'm making a little bit of money off it. And in terms of making money off it, let's start looking at how much money I was making per day as soon as I got monetized. And the first day, look at that, $11.41. Might not sound like a life-changing amount of money, but the fact that I made $11.41 in one day for pretty much just people watching videos that I'd made a few years ago seemed awesome to me. And that actually kept going up. It peaked at $43 in a day. And at this point, you start thinking about, wow, what if I could make $43 every day? I'm also old enough to be realistic and realize that that's not sustainable. And that's exactly what happened. It sort of troughed down to 24 and then back up to 41 again, troughed, and then just started going down and down and down and down. After August, it's been sort of just bubbling around the one, roughly around about $1 a day, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. Could it be better? Obviously, but it's not like I'm a full-time YouTuber or anything. This is still just a hobby for me, and the fact that I'm making $1 or sometimes a little bit more than that a day just from people watching my videos makes me happy. And obviously you can see whenever you release content, you're going to get a spike in views, which means you make a little bit more money. In terms of how much money you can expect to make, all depends on some very important numbers and statistics. If we go into the revenue page for this whole period, we can start to look at the individual videos that were getting the most views and how much was I being paid per 1,000 views. Probably the most important statistic you want to take notice of is this, the RPM. And I can't even remember what RPM stands for, but basically all you need to know is that this amount is how much you're being paid for 1,000 views. And you can see here, per 1,000 views, I'm getting paid $3, which apparently is not particularly high. Then again, my channel is what you considered an entertainment channel, and because that's a very broad category, it doesn't attract very high paying advertising clients to YouTube. Obviously, if I was making videos about selling financial products, that would be attracting advertisers like banks and financial service providers who pay a lot more money to advertise on YouTube than companies advertising their new biscuits. But $3 per 1,000 views, it is what it is. I'm not really complaining about it. And if we look at the videos that were getting all these views all of a sudden, I'm still to this day not sure what caused the spike. Maybe the algorithm just started pushing a couple of my videos for whatever reason, but they were all my old videos. Well, obviously that old videos because that's all I had at the time, even though I'd made I'd made that one new video back in February, but that wasn't even featuring. It was basically these videos here. Why can't Americans do a New Zealand accent? New Zealand inventions that changed the world. Old New Zealand TV ads. These videos here were a good 95% of the total traffic coming to my YouTube channel. Let's get into how much money I've made in total since I got monetized, because for some of you watching, that's going to be the reason why you want to watch this. If you've got a small YouTube channel like mine with a couple of thousand subscribers and maybe one or two videos that are really picking up speed, how much money can you expect to get from this? Okay, so I've been monetized since mid-July this year. It's now late November 2024. That's about 5 months. And the grand total of money I've made so far is $809.61, which I'm pretty stoked with. It's not exactly a life-changing amount of money, and I'm certainly not contemplating quitting my job anytime soon to become a full-time YouTuber. But $809 from people just watching old videos of mine that I made as a hobby is pretty cool to me. Obviously, you can see the bulk of that was made in July this year, $433. August, $241. And then things start to really cool off quite a bit. September, just $43. October, $66. So far in November, we're at $24.66. But I've actually just cracked the minimum payment threshold for the third time this year, so I expect another minimum payment coming very soon, actually. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is, and if you're a small YouTuber listening to this, I would say start planting those seeds early on and then keep going at it. Getting your channel monetized is definitely not something you're going to do overnight unless you're extremely talented or extremely lucky. But just look at my example. I started this channel way back in mid-2021, made a bunch of videos, did nothing with the channel for a couple of years, but those seeds were planted. Those seeds just started growing very slowly until, boom, they really started to blossom this year. Obviously, I think you're going to have better results than I did if you don't take about 2 years time off and just sit on your thumbs doing nothing with your channel. But anyway, there's my story. For me, I'm really happy with it. This is a channel I just started making a few years ago to make videos, to generate a little bit of discussion on topics that I find quite interesting. And I do really enjoy reading the comments that I get come into my YouTube channel about the videos that I make on the topics that I'm interested in. That's been really satisfying to me. And Side bonus, also satisfying, is that I'm making a little bit of money out of it now, which certainly helps with motivation to keep the channel going and making new videos. Anyway, I hope you found this useful, maybe even inspirational. Who knows? If you did, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. I might make another one of these videos another 6 months down the track from now or so, just to let you know how it's going, whether my channel's grown, whether I'm making more money or not, or whether it's stayed the same. In the meantime though, if you're new here and you haven't seen some of my other videos before, why not check out one of them that's popping up on your screen right now?